Hey YouTube, this is Detroit Borg with a look at the Maroo protective cover for the iPad 2. Now Maroo is a brand you may not be familiar with, but you may be familiar with Cyber Acoustics. Cyber Acoustics actually makes my favorite iPad 1 case. I have a review on this and I'll post a link in the description below. But this is the case I ultimately ended up using with my iPad 1, even though I have many cases. So I was really excited when I saw that they created a second version under this new Maroo brand. They do sell a version under Cyber Acoustics as well. But of course Cyber Acoustics is sort of a misleading name. They've branched out to other products, and Maroo sort of encompassed their case line and other accessories. There are actually two versions here. One is the leather case, which is a direct successor to the iPad 1 case, and they have this new nylon series, which is a fabric case. And there are many versions of this. This happens to be the Oranga 2, and this is the Moco 2, referring to the second iPad. Now looking briefly at the iPad 1 case, one of my favorite features about this case is the fact that it comes out very easily. It's held together with this TPU style frame, and you just pop it out. And there you go. And you can see this is a very soft material, holds onto the iPad nicely and protects the corners. And of course you have this nice folio style made of leather. It's a very nice quality product. It has a nice felt liner to protect the iPad. It also has this strap to hold the iPad. And when you close it, these straps help to keep it closed. I'm going to demonstrate this on the new version. Of course you can also fold it back just like the original Apple case and use it as a prop. So let's take a look at the Moco 2. We're just going to pull it out of its box. Again, this is leather, and it looks like they include a microfiber cloth, which is very nice. And you can see it's a very familiar design. Again, it has this sort of frame. They call this the SG bumper. It's their hallmark product on all their cases. They use this for all their cases. They have cases for the Kindle, for the Galaxy Tab, and of course all the iPads. And here we have something new. We have this little slot here. It looks like we have a card here with some product information. This is where you can hold your microfiber cloth, so that's actually very nice. We also have this elastic strap. I'll show you how we use that once we get the iPad in. And we have these other straps to help keep the cover closed. Now taking a very close look at the product, again you can see this microfiber felt liner, again a very protective covering for the iPad. And we have this TPU frame which is sewn to the product. Again, it is very soft. It won't scratch your iPad at all. It's not a hard plastic. You can see it sort of flexes, so this allows you to fasten it to the iPad. And of course we have a cutout for the camera. Now looking at the front, we have a nice leather material. It's available in black, red, and I think some other colors as well. So around the edge you see some very discreet stitching. It's just black stitching. It's not contrast stitching or anything like that. On the edge we have some embossings to help the leather to fold properly. On the back we have the label for the Moco 2. And we have the little tab that holds back the cover. To install the iPad, I think the best way to do it is to put the top in first and put the bottom in last, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So we have the corners here, so all you have to do is sort of pull it back and snap it over the side. Now the reason I want to put this in first is because the lock switch is up here, and you can see that this will actually rub against it if you're forcing the corner over. So again, if I want to force this on here, you can see it's sort of pushing against the button. So with the iPad installed, just close the cover and you can hear that it locks. Again, there are magnets in here that respond to the auto lock feature on the iPad 2. Just to confirm it. And it does have that classic Apple iPad case design, which allows you to fold the cover back. So you can fold it back into a typing position or a landscape position. And of course, if you put it in a landscape position, just put a keyboard in front of it and you're all set to go. And of course when you have the flap folded back like this, you still have access to the camera, so you can still use the camera. There is no interference from this case. You can see there's quite a bit of depth there, but there is no interference. You can see right through it. Now just like the original iPad case, we have these corner straps here to help you keep the cover closed. That's particularly important with the auto lock or auto on and off feature of the iPad 2, because if you leave this off, this thing sort of moves side to side, so you can hear it. It keeps waking it up and on and off, or turning it on and off. Now these are also reversible, so you can turn this around to fasten the back of the cover to the iPad. So there you go. Now you also have a strap here that allows you to hold it in your hand. Now I really like this feature because I do walk around with my iPad, so this allows me to hold it more comfortably. The elastic band can actually be used to fasten the iPad 2 to the back seat of a car, so this can be used to entertain backseat passengers. This feature is not advertised, but it seems to work in my car. Now let's take a very close look around the case. You can see there is quite a bit of padding on this case, so it does a very good job protecting the iPad. Again, the corners are well protected. That's very important. The edge is very protected. Again, you can see there's quite a bit of distance here, and with these straps in place, it keeps it secure. There is plenty of room for the 30-pin dock. There is plenty of room for the speaker. This, as you can see, there is nothing against the speaker. It doesn't obstruct it at all. In fact, it actually reflects it back to you, so it's actually a helpful feature. We do have access to the controls. So we have the volume control and the rotation, or well, orientation or mute switch, depending on how you have that configured. We have the lock switch up here, which is a little hidden by the bumper here, but it's not too bad. You can still operate it. And you have plenty of room for the microphone and headphone jack. Now let's take a look at the Ranga 2. This is the nylon series of cases. This is available in a wide variety of patterns and colors. There is one that's all cloth. This happens to be a hybrid of leather and nylon. So you can see it's brightly colored. It has this bright colored coordinating felt. Now with an iPad 2 installed, you can see you have the same features and functionalities. You can prop this up for keyboard or for landscape mode. You can fold it back and use the straps to fasten it to the front. And you can use the strap to hold on to it. In conclusion, I'm a big fan of this case. It's probably going to be my daily driver, or the case I use every day. Largely because it's easy to take on and off. Because of this bumper design, it's easy to pop this on and off. And as you guys may be aware of, I use an Apple iPad dock. In most cases, don't work with them unless you take them on and off or in and out, whatever the case design may be. So this is definitely the most accessible. Now the only disadvantage with this case, I think, is the fact that it adds quite a bit of bulk to the iPad 2. So you can see it's kind of fluffy looking. I wish it was a little tighter, a little thinner. But again, it adds a lot of protection to the iPad 2, so if you drop this, you're in pretty good hands. So I definitely highly recommend this case. In fact, I knew I would like it so much that I asked them to send me 2. So one of these is going to be yours. I'm going to have a giveaway video coming up right after this one. So stay tuned for that. So once again, guys, this is Detroit Borg with a look at the Maroo protective cover. Thanks for watching.